Okay, let's dive into this. We see them everywhere, right? On streets all across the Indian subcontinent, in villages and big cities. We feel like we know them, but what is the real story behind the dog on every corner?
For years, we've used all kinds of names for them: strays, mutts, Desi dogs, even pariahs. But as it turns out, those labels don't even come close to capturing the whole story of this incredibly unique and ancient animal.
So this explainer is all about getting to know the true identity of the dog that experts are now calling the Indian native dog, or IN dog for short. They're not just strays, you see. They're an ancient and resilient canine with one heck of a story.
Okay, so first things first, the words we use really matter. There's a ton of confusion around what to call these dogs, so let's clear it up, and we're going to start with a key scientific idea.
Before we go any further, you have to get your head around this term landrace. Now, unlike a breed, which humans create for specific looks or jobs, a landrace develops all on its own, naturally, over thousands of years. It becomes perfectly adapted to its home. This idea is the foundation for understanding the Indian dog.
Now this is super helpful because it really breaks down all the confusion. So an in-dog, that's the pure indigenous primitive dog of the subcontinent. Indie dog, a really popular term, well, that usually means a dog with in-dog heritage but maybe mixed with other breeds. Stray isn't a type of dog at all. It just means any dog, even a purebred, that's roaming around without a home. And mongrel is just any dog with a mixed, unknown background. See, they're not at all interchangeable.
And we've got to talk about the old name, pariah dog. This was a label that came about during the British colonial era, and it was based on a total misunderstanding of a social group's name. It has literally no real connection to the dogs, it carries a lot of negative baggage, and experts now consider it totally outdated and just plain wrong.
You know, this dog's story didn't just kick off a few decades ago, with cities getting bigger. Nope, it goes back for millennia, all the way to the dawn of civilization in the region.
I mean, we have actual archaeological evidence, things like skulls found at Mohenjo-Daro, that trace their family tree back over 4,500 years to the Indus Valley civilization. For centuries, they just thrived. Then came the colonial era with that misnomer pariah. And get this, it was only in 2015 that the Kennel Club of India officially recognized their breed standard. That was a huge step in getting their identity back.
And this just lays it out so clearly, the fundamental difference between them and pedigrees. In-dogs were shaped by natural selection. Survival of the fittest, literally. Only the healthiest, smartest, most adaptable dogs survived to pass on their genes, which created this amazing genetic diversity. Pedigrees? Totally different story. They're products of artificial selection, bred by us for how they look or what they can do, which often leads to a really small gene pool and all sorts of inherited health issues.
So, what do you get when nature is in charge for thousands of years with no humans interfering? Well, you get a dog with some incredible built-in advantages that make it uniquely perfect for its environment.
They are just so low maintenance. Their short coat is perfect for the hot climate, needs almost no grooming, they've got a rock-solid immune system with very few of the genetic problems that plague so many purebreds, and it's not just about their physical toughness. They are known for being wicked smart and fiercely loyal to their families and their communities.
And hey, it's not just us saying it. Experts and vets have been pointing this out for years. Their natural development has made them unbelievably resilient and intelligent. They're a living testament to the power of evolution, a survivor just honed by thousands of years of existence.
So on one hand, you have this incredibly tough, ancient animal, but its story today, well, that's where things get complicated. It's a real paradox of being both loved and feared in the very place it evolved.
First, you just have to try and wrap your head around the scale of this situation. We're talking an estimated 80 million dogs and cats living on the streets. That's not just a number, it's a massive overpopulation crisis playing out every single day.
And that huge population puts an unbelievable amount of pressure on animal shelters. They're often underfunded, understaffed, and way over capacity, with nearly 9 million animals. The entire support system is basically at its breaking point. All of this just boils up into this huge societal conflict. You've got fears about dog bites and rabies, combined with issues like poor garbage management that gives them a food source, and it creates this volatile situation where a staggering 80% of people think the dogs should just be removed.
So we have this perfect storm.
On one side, you've got this growing movement to adopt and appreciate these dogs, to celebrate how special they are. And on the other side, you've got this constant grinding conflict on the streets, fueled by fear and the challenges of modern city life.
But, and this is a big but, in the middle of all this conflict, the story is starting to change. People are beginning to look past the stray on the corner and see the ancient survivor, the smart companion that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time.
Adoption advocates talk about this powerful thing that happens when you bring one of these dogs home. When you give a safe space to an animal that's had to survive so much on its own, the bond you build is just different. It's not just about saving a dog, it's about connecting with that incredible spirit of resilience.
This newfound respect is unlocking their potential in some pretty stunning ways. The same smarts and toughness that helped them survive on the streets is now being used to train them as elite police dogs. And all over the world, they're becoming ambassadors, traveling thousands of miles to new homes in the US, Canada, Europe, and completely changing how people see them, one family at a time.
Which really brings us to the ultimate question, doesn't it? As a few of these ancient dogs become global icons, winning hearts and finding homes across the world, what does the future hold for the millions still living in the shadow of conflict on the streets back home?